Having ungodly amounts of money is not normal, so it makes sense that super rich people would also have abnormal personalities. With that in mind, these particular billionaires are actually really weird people. Because why have $1 billion and just be average? One billionaire who is basically a little kid with way too much money is Clive Palmer. This coal and iron magnate chose to open his very own dinosaur park in 2013. Dubbed Palmasaurus, the park featured over 160 animatronic dinos. He basically recreated Jurassic Park, but without the pesky side effects where the dinosaurs eat everyone. Unfortunately, the park proved less than popular with neighbors who found it hard to sleep with the dinos' endless roaring. Not satisfied with extinct robo-lizards, Palmer is looking to recreate the Titanic. In 2013, he released a video detailing his plans to build the Titanic 2 and actually have it set sail.
It's Jack and Rose as Romeo and Juliet, and we've all got our own Romeo and Juliet story in our lives, and that appeals to everyone.
He had hoped to launch Titanic 2 in 2018, but it hasn't materialized quite yet. In the meantime, no one let this guy watch the Terminator movies, okay? Virgin Airlines founder Richard Branson quickly comes to mind when you're thinking about the modern-day eccentric wealthy. He has all the goofy weirdness of other mega-billionaires, but without any of the corresponding controversy. He simply enjoys being rich and famous. One of Branson's favourite activities is playing dress-up. He once donned Indian clothing to promote Virgin's new Mumbai to London route. He's also dressed up as a flight attendant, a mermaid, a bride, a pirate, the Easter Bunny, and more. Basically, every day is Halloween for Branson. He's also big into space travel and actively wants to make space tourism a thing. His Virgin Galactic branch is working on setting up suborbital flights that anyone can fly, as long as they can pay several $100,000. Just because you're worth billions doesn't mean you have to spend gobs of money on things like clothing, but you also don't have to do what IKEA founder Ingvar Kamprad does, which is dress and act like he barely has a dime to his name. Despite being worth over $40 billion, Kamprad elects to spend as little of it as humanly possible. He buys virtually all of his clothes at flea markets and waits to get his hair cut until he's in a developing country that charges less. Unconfirmed rumors even suggest that he swipes salt and pepper packets from restaurants and recycles his tea bags. Yet despite his obsession with frugality, at one point Kamprad had to fork over billions in one go. When he quit as CEO of IKEA in the 80s, his sons sued for their rights to a big payout he got from stepping down. Kamprad allegedly lost and had to give up around $3 billion to his boys.
Thanks, Dad.
Businessman Robert Clark Graham made his fortune creating shatterproof lenses for eyeglasses, and he spent it on perhaps the strangest form of eugenics ever. In the late 70s, he established the Repository for Germinal Choice, a sperm bank designed to create only the smartest, most brilliant babies possible. Graham theorized he could do that by collecting sperm samples from nothing but Nobel laureates. He quickly learned, however, that limiting your sperm to Nobel winners was a bad idea, as most of them are old. That means a selection of sperm that really isn't ripe for freezing. Rather than give up and find a normal hobby, he simply started trying to get sperm from any brilliantly intelligent men. No Nobel required.
And that they can share this great gift with youngsters yet to be born without diminishing themselves in any significant way.
The project eventually ground to a halt, probably because the very idea of it is kind of horrifying. Before folding in 1999, however, the RGC did produce 217 children, and according to the BBC, the few who have gone public actually are pretty brilliant. But they don't really credit Graham for having a good idea, instead noting the importance of the environments they grew up in. Plastic surgery isn't unique, but getting enough of it to look like a different species definitely is. Jocelyn Wildenstein became rich by marrying a billionaire and getting $2.3 billion of his money in the divorce agreement. She's since become infamous for spending obscene amounts of money on her physical appearance, all in an apparent effort to make herself look like a cat. According to People magazine, some friends think the Catwoman wants to be a lynx, just like one of her pets. Other rumors say she started to turn herself into a cat to appease her then husband, who loved cats. But if that's true, it didn't work, as he filed for divorce in 1997.